Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about your brain is keeping you overweight. Here's how to reprogram it. So the first thing to understand before you can do this is to understand how your brain works. You have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is your prefrontal cortex, which is in charge of your logical thinking, your strategic thinking. This is where your willpower is, the party that tries to get you to do the right thing. Your subconscious mind is where all your stored behaviors are at, and they run automatically. So this is where your habitual thoughts, feelings, and behaviors come from. Okay. So when you think about your weight now, the reason you weigh what you weigh is because of the behaviors that you've learned and are now automatically running from your subconscious mind. And when you try and lose weight, you're trying to use your conscious mind to fight against those learned automatic running behaviors. So this doesn't work well because your conscious mind, your prefrontal cortex, is about 10% of your brain. The subconscious part of your brain is the other 90%. It's way more powerful and it's way less energy intensive. This is why when you were learning to read and write, it took lots of energy and focus, and now you can read and write completely automatically. And so at this point in time, the behaviors that cause you to be overweight just run automatically. Don't take much energy at all. The ability to try and stop yourself and fight against them takes tons of energy. So when you diet, how this shows up is that you intentionally try and fight against yourself to make the right choices. And you can do it for a little while. And then eventually you find yourself going back to your normal automatic behaviors. And this is the primary way you've tried to lose weight your whole life, is you try to consciously fight against your subconscious mind to change your behaviors. And you've gotten the exact same results every time. It's worked for a little while, and then you always go back to what you automatically do. So this is why you're overweight, and this is why you will continue to be overweight if you keep using the same approach, because you're not dealing with the core part of your mind that is actually in charge of your weight, which is your subconscious mind. So to reprogram your mind first starts with the philosophy that we're not just going to try and fight against ourselves. We are going to change the subconscious programming that we have that's running automatically. Now, the good news is that a lot of the behaviors you have learned them. You didn't know how to read and write. You didn't know how to go to the fast food stores. You didn't know how to eat the junk food. You learn these behaviors, and now you do them automatically. So you can learn new behaviors that are healthier, that keep you at your goal weight, that run automatically. But it's a different process. It's not one of fighting against ourselves. It's one of reprogramming our mind. Now, I will let you know right off the bat that this process takes longer, because it takes longer to learn and install a new automatically running behavior than it does to just try and fight against it and change everything in the moment right now. But the difference is that once you've installed this new behavior that runs pretty much on autopilot, it lasts a lot longer. And that's the secret. So you have to shift your goal from wanting to lose weight to wanting to live at your goal weight, because it's going to take a little more time. It's about practicing. It's about learning. It's about reinforcing and training yourself to think, feel, and behave a different way. But if you approach it this way, again, you get to a point where you program in new automated thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that make you thin and healthy on near autopilot. You can live at your goal weight as easily as you've lived overweight. It can feel just as easy, natural, and automatic. But again, the focus has to be different. It has to be focused on reprogramming your subconscious mind so you install these new habitual thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that keep you thin and healthy. So if you want to learn how to do this, click the link in my bio or go to Program Yourself Thin. Get the free hypnosis session I gave you just as a first kind of experience of this, and then watch the video I made where I go into more detail about how to do this. And I think you'll find it makes a lot more sense, and it explains what you've experienced with your weight up until now. And the good news is that there is a better approach to change this than what you've been doing. The problem is not that you don't have the willpower, that you don't have the self-control. The problem is you have not been using the correct strategy. And I will show you a better strategy at that link. So hope that helps you out. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. Any questions are welcome. Any weight loss questions. But again, I think if you begin to look at your experience through the lens of a conscious, subconscious mind, it may open up a lot more awareness for what's been going on. Time to skedaddle. I like that. Is hunger or cravings just an emotion? No, not at all. I mean, hunger is a real physiological thing. If you don't eat, your body is literally, think about this, through our evolution, the most important thing in the world was eating food. It was the number one most important thing that we had to do regularly every day. So that means that we've evolved over literally millions of years on this planet to be fixated and focused on food. So when you stop eating and you start feeling hungry, it's a physiological thing. Now, there's obviously psychological components to it as well. So hunger at its very core is a physiological real thing. It is not just an emotion. There is an emotional piece to it. Okay. But hunger is a real thing, and you're never going to win against hunger, which is what dieters need to really understand, that you're trying to starve yourself or hunger yourself to a thinner weight. That can work for a little while, but ultimately that's not going to work. So that's important to understand. But no, hunger and cravings are not just emotions. They're real physiological things. So again, there is an emotional component to it, and you have to be strategic, I believe, in dealing with your hunger and your cravings. But they're not just emotions. So don't minimize them as such. Okay. They are real physiological factors that you need to deal with strategically in order to be able to, eat the way that you want to weigh what you want to weigh. And Nara says, yes, once you change your mindset, it helps everything. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's very true. You've got to change your mindset. And I think that's the biggest missing piece of weight loss that exists. I mean, every weight loss plan is just telling you what to do. And no weight loss plan is really showing you how to strategically transform your mindset into that of a thin, healthy person. And so what you get is you who thinks like an overweight person constantly doing overweight person things like dieting. Dieters are overweight people typically. So you shouldn't learn how to lose weight from a dieter. You really shouldn't be focused on losing weight. That's the biggest thing you'll learn from studying people that successfully lost weight and kept it off, is that they're not fixated on weight loss. They're fixated on living at their goal weight. And it's a huge distinction. It changes everything. It's a completely different mindset. So yes, mindset's absolutely the most important thing. What's the price? The price of the hypnosis session and the video I make for you and the emails I send are all free. That's all free stuff. And I do have trainings. I do have trainings as well coming. How to choose your goal weight is a training probably next week. I'll get to it. Sorry. I know I've been promising that one a little bit, but some things kind of came up. So yeah, all that stuff's free. Yes, I do have a program and stuff, and you can learn more about that if you choose to. But the initial things I give you, they're all free, and I think you'll find them to be very helpful. I hope so. To stay, have you ever had a problem with your weight loss? Yeah, I used to be 50 pounds heavier. So 30 years ago, I lost 50 pounds. And the main thing I want you to focus on, though, is that I've kept that weight off for 30 years. I had one blip 12 years ago, but I've kept that weight off without any dieting, without any consistent working out. What I've done is I've transformed my mindset, my lifestyle, my eating. So I'm a master of my eating, I'm a master of my lifestyle, master of my mindset. And now I'm able to live it at my goal weight relatively easily. Now, again, I say relatively because, again, I still have an eye on it. Obviously, you have to. We don't live in a vacuum. You've got to consistently kind of manage, your eating, your lifestyle, your mindset. But it gets easier and easier because you kind of automate a lot of it as you move forward. So, yes, I have learned from, again, everything I'm sharing with you. I think the big difference here is that I have learned from people that have successfully lost weight and kept it off. And I think most weight loss out there is really all about people that have lost weight quickly. And I think that shift in focus is the real important piece. So that's what I think. But anyways, yeah, let me know if anyone has questions about weight loss, or if you're struggling with anything weight related, let me know. Because I take this time. I'm on here every day, pretty much Monday through Friday. I like to get on here and help you all out. This is a mission for me. Again, my goal is to help as many people as possible live at their goal weight. So any questions you have to stay. So does calorie counting work? Calorie counting absolutely works in the short term. No doubt about it. But in the long term, it's as ineffective as all the rest of them. So again, you've got to get in the habit of not just looking, does a diet work in the short term? That's what your brain naturally thinks. When you think of a diet works, you're subconsciously thinking, is it going to help me lose weight? You've got to stop doing that. You've got to start thinking, is it going to help me stay at my goal weight forever? And if you're like most people, you are not going to count calories for the rest of your life. It's tedious and boring and difficult. So again, while I don't disagree that counting calories and getting real, fixated micromanaging every calorie in is a way to lose weight in the short term, in the long term, it's just as ineffective as all the rest of them because you're not want to keep it up. So again, we got to look at the big picture. How can I live at my goal weight in an easy and comfortable way? That's the question you need to be asking. Counting calories is not that answer for most people. Now, there's always some outliers that love counting calories. There's accountant-minded types of people that just love tracking things in, intricate detail. They may love it, but for the average person, they're not going to do it. And so we got to take into account not just like what will work, but what are we actually going to do? And most people are not going to do any of the diets long-term. So we've got to take that piece into account. He says, do you meal prep or just have the whole food available? I absolutely meal prep. I think logistics is so overlooked when it comes to eating well, meaning that having the food available for you to eat when it's time to eat it, I think is just a whole phase and section of mastering your weight. So I do meal prep I'll give you an example. So Monday through Friday, I pretty much eat the same breakfast and lunch every week. And so I am like, that's my meal prep. Okay. So I know what I'm going to eat. And so the planning to have the food available is always in the back of my mind. Every Monday I go and make sure I got all the stuff I need for it. Now, some of the things, like I can get a 5-pound bag of carrots that'll last me 3-4 weeks. So some things I put in my salad last longer than others. And like the lettuce I have to get every week, and bread lasts me a couple weeks. So again, it's important to understand that different things have different time frames with them. So again, some things, oh my goodness. Just getting distracted there for a second. So I absolutely meal prep, but not in the way that you think of it, I think, because I think diet or meal prep is tedious and awful to me. So I do a form of meal prepping, but it's very comfortable and I don't want to say intuitive, even though it is a little bit, because that word's misunderstood, I think, a lot, but I do meal prep in a way that's very kind of automated, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, ask me how. Christina says, hi, Jim, did the sleep session and fell asleep 6 minutes into it. That's awesome. Great job, Christina. Yeah. So I was talking with Christina yesterday about sleeping. Again, folks, sleeping is a skill. And it's a skill that requires, it's always the same thing. It's mindset and strategies. Everything's mindset and strategies. And so I had to have a great conversation with Christina yesterday about the mindset of sleeping, because a lot of times we have beliefs that prevent us from sleeping. And so sometimes we say, I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to go to sleep because I'm worried, that until someone gets home, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. But just because you think that way now doesn't mean that's how you always have to think, and then the actual strategy of how do you fall asleep? That's a skill. Again, I was the shittiest sleeper you knew. I really mean this. I was born a shitty sleeper. I believe this. And if I wasn't, I was trained to be a shitty sleeper from a very young age, like outlierly bad sleeper. And so, but now I can sleep like that. And so I literally have that program, Sleep at Will. So I'm assuming, once you understand how to fall asleep, you can get a lot better at it. And wow, what a skill set that is. Because I think there's nothing out of all the habits that exist. I think sleeping is probably the biggest lifestyle habit affecting your weight. So getting your sleep under control at the right level, I think, is probably one of the most important things you can do in your life for a lot of reasons, but definitely that. Okay, so Jim dropped another 0.6 overnight, only one night, but we shall see. A little nervous about my pleasure meal tonight. Any words of wisdom? Yeah, great job. Okay. And I was thinking about you, and I hope one of the things yesterday is realizing that, logically you can look at the weight and how it's going down. And I want you to notice the disconnect between the weight going down objectively, like it's absolutely going down, and your emotional response to it, which is that it's never enough, and there's really no excitement even hardly. I mean, there is when you see that go down, but again, the moment to moment, I get it. You step on it, it's down a little bit. Ooh, that's exciting. Okay. But I'm talking about the big picture trend. And that big picture trend, you'll look at the amount lost and you'll say, oh, that's not enough. It's too slow. It's just painful. Right. But you've got to look at that difference, right? Like the reality that the trend's going in the right direction, multiply that trend that's been going on times 12 months, see where you're at. Okay. And what your emotional reaction is to it now. Okay. That being said, that's one piece of things. The next piece is the pleasure meal. Like I said, I'm going to do that training on a deeper level of pleasure meals. But one of the main things I want you to remember is what I was talking with Jody about yesterday. And that was that it's the magic of it is it puts you into a different reality, time frame wise. And it gets you out of this dieting thing of, I was trying to think of this. I think like dieting is like a straight line because you think you're going to start with your diet and you're going to do a straight line of no pleasure days until I reach my goal weight. And then what? Well, then I'll figure things out. You see? So it's like you're in this timeline where it's like I'm starting here and I'm going here and then I'll be done. Or then I'll start something new. And I think that's dangerous. I think that's part of what I was thinking. I was thinking that's the problem. And what we want to do, and what I think the pleasure meals help you do, is it starts to take that timeline, and turns it into a time circle. And I think the time circle is very, very helpful. Even Jody said it yesterday. That was very, very important for her to say this, that we're looking at a week-to-week time circle, and that starts to grow into a year time circle. So that you can start to realize, as you think of it as a circle, you start to realize January brings its own challenges and strengths, and on and on and on each month. And I think the biggest part of that whole time circle is you get out of this idea that I'm going to do this until I lose the weight, and you start to step in your long-term reality now. And even if you have a pleasure day and you put a pound on, to me, it's like we anchor the whole thing around the pleasure day and we pick other places to pull that away. And for most people, that's going to be more beneficial to you than, because again, I could talk to Katie for hours. I love, I think about you a lot, Katie, because you're like the Rubik's Cube of weight loss. But I think what a lot of it comes back to, and it just going back to yesterday, I think about this a lot with you specifically, is that your brain keeps saying, I'm doing everything that I'm going to do. I know I keep going back to that yesterday and I keep saying that, but I can't tell you how destructive that is in so many ways. And psychologically, you just keep running to a wall. So I've done everything I can do or going to do. And that's not true. Okay. So I think having the pleasure day and saying, I'm going to, just like you said, I'm not going to cut anymore. I'm not going to do this bottom thing. You made a decision. You said, I'm not going to do this. Right. So saying I'm going to have a pleasure day is the same sort of grounding sort of thing. I'm not going to do this is firm foundation you can build on. Right. And having a pleasure day is firm foundation you can build on long term. Because now you have foundation. He says, I'm going to have a pleasure day, but I still want to be at my weight. So I'll pull the calories out of other places. I'll cut down a little bit over here, knowing that I can have my pleasure day. Most people can absolutely do that. And it just feels better. It feels more balanced. It feels forever. It feels long-term. And I think it sets you up. I think it's a way to step into a forever thinking pattern. And that's so important for most dieters, and you included. Most you dieters are thinking in terms of this. Again, the line thinking is a temporary mindset. I'm going to do this until. I'm going to not have a pleasure day until. And I think that's very damaging. I think once we put ourselves in a loop and say, I'm going to have a pleasure day now, and I'm going to figure out how to lose the weight, it sets you up to live forever. So I hope that helps out. So I hope you have the pleasure meal and just see what happens, Tiste says, does having intercourse ruin your weight loss progress psychologically? I wouldn't think it would, but I mean, everyone's different. So I don't know, experiment with it and find out. Kat says, you've helped me so much stay focused. Appreciate you. Thank you, Kat. Appreciate that. Katie says, also went to sleep at 9:15 last night. I'm on a roll. Okay. So that's really fun too, right? Because maybe that going to sleep was why the 0.6 came off today. Probably not. But again, as a hypnotist, I pick and choose my reality. So I like to associate things together that I think are going to support me long term. So I have no problem, when coincidences like that happen, I'll link them together, but that great job. And how do you feel today? Not that you'll feel, remember that too. Just like if you go to bed like early one night, it doesn't necessarily show up the next day the way you expect it to, and vice versa. You can go to bed really late one night and wake up the next day all energized. And it might take another day or two to show up when you're exhausted. Okay. But if you woke up today feeling good, then again, we use that. Right. But yeah, pay attention to how that felt, but nice job. Great job with that. Saida says, I want to both lose weight and learn English. So I'm going to subscribe. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Yeah. I'm always talking English. So that's a great way to learn English. Yeah. I would think like listening to hypnosis session would be really interesting. Yeah. Cause you're relaxed and calm and hearing English words. Oops. I think the first part of my question got missed about my additional weight loss. Yeah. I don't think I saw that, Katie. So ask that. Intuitive Bestie says, I feel like I'm addicted to soda. I don't know that if I can give it up again, that I can go back. Let's talk about this. Okay. I think a lot of people feel that way with whatever they're dealing with. It might be ice cream, pizza, chips, soda. It does, pick your poison. Doesn't matter. Some things we feel are such a central part to who we are in our lives that the idea of giving it up feels terrifying. And I think this is why dieting sucks so much, because dieting says it's all or nothing, right? You drink soda and you want to lose weight, you got to stop drinking soda. So, and that terrifies us, and then we keep drinking soda. So again, I always want to reinforce to you that we don't have to do everything all at once. We can gradually move in the direction we want to go in. And I know people don't believe that, but it's absolutely true. Again, I promise you, I've been doing this 20 years professionally, and I've seen it happen literally thousands of times. So again, if you feel like you're addicted to soda, the first thing I would do is I would research soda. I would spend 15, 20 minutes, just watch some YouTube videos on what soda does to your body, what sugar does to your body. And then I would start to reflect on, when you say I'm addicted to soda, I would reflect on, maybe even write out what all that, the negative consequences of being addicted to soda are for you. Might be weight related, might be financial, might be your teeth, might be, you're sleeping. I don't know. So whatever you think, when you say I'm addicted to soda, what are the negative consequences of that addiction in your mind? Okay. So we put both those together. Now, what we're doing by doing this, instead of just saying, oh, come on, Intuitive Bestie, just stop drinking soda, which is pretty much what dieting is. What we want to do is we want to change the way we think about soda. The reason you're drinking soda right now is because the way you think about it, you don't think it's that bad. You don't. And so we got to change the way we think about it. And so once you've done that, you might start thinking differently about the soda, and you might find that you're a lot more motivated to drink less of it. And I would leave that option open for you, that you don't need to get rid of the soda all at once. I think that's terrifying. And I would look for, I would pay attention. I'd say, what's my typical soda consumption over a week? Where do I drink my sodas? I'd map them out, because I promise you there's a pattern to it. And then I would look at that pattern. I'd say, what would be the easiest sodas to get rid of? If I drink 15 sodas a week, what are the easiest 3 to 4 sodas I could get rid of with my new mindset, with my new awareness? Let me see if I can cut those out. And I would work on cutting those out. And then I'd do it as comfortably as I could. And then once you got comfortable with that, then I would ask the same question. What can I do to get the next 3 or 4 out of here? So that would be my suggestion as an alternative to just the willpower, white knuckle, cold turkey strategy. So Julie says, I rewatched the video on blueprints. I really needed that. Oh, great, Julie. Yeah, that was a good training. Yeah. The blueprint trainings are getting better and better. It's exciting. Again, I make no bones about it. I am constantly iterating, optimizing, and improving my program. I'm constantly optimizing everything I do in my personal life and my professional life. And professionally, 20 years in, it does really feel like I'm starting to really hit a whole nother level. It's exciting. And so, that's part of what I do with the program. If you sign up for the mastery program at this point, which is the only program I'm selling anymore, I'm not selling the hypnosis program by itself. You get lifetime access to these Tuesday calls I do. And every Tuesday I do a live training where I go through a piece of the program, because what that allows me to do is it offers a live class experience for you. So it just feels different. It feels different when I'm live there teaching it. You can ask questions about it. So that's really helpful. You feel connected to something that's alive and real. And it allows me to I keep cycling through the training. So I keep improving on them. And they just keep getting better. So I'm really glad, Julie, that helped you out. But I give you lifetime access to those. So you forever feel like you have a connection to that. And I think that's been really fun to be able to offer that. John says, finding new healthy food choices is a problem. Yeah. Okay. So let's convert it into a solution, John. How can I find new healthier food choices? Specifically, which ones? Get more specific, John. And John, thanks for that email. I saw you sent me that email, right? He said, talking about the food companies. These food companies are relentless, devious, it's crazy. But yeah, some of those examples you sent me, right? It's just crazy. But yeah, John, convert that statement you made, finding new healthy food choices is a problem, into a solution. How can I find healthy food choices that are easy and comfortable for me? And again, the secret to going deeper into that is asking more specific solution-oriented questions. So specifically, what healthy food choices? I bet everything's not as equal, meaning I bet breakfast is probably easier than lunch. Lunch is probably easier than dinner. So they're not all created the same unless they are for you. But even if they are, then say, let's start with breakfast then. I need to find some new healthy food choices for breakfast. What can I do? Lunch, dinner, whatever. And that the more specific we get asking a solution-oriented question, the faster you just, get bombarded with answers and solutions and ideas. And then you pick and find the one that works best for you. Okay. So convert that statement into a solution-oriented question and get specific with it. Drill down into where the specific problem is showing up. Which meal? Kelly says, thinking long-term instead of temporary can feel fantastic. Yeah. Or like too much deprivation, but I'm learning and starting to like figuring out how to eat what I like and slowly lose weight. Yeah, of course. Yeah. What I like is getting healthier all the time. Yeah. Yeah, of course. That's, I talk about that all the time, where it's so important to make your weight loss and Program Yourself. Then we talk about taking weight loss and wrapping it in personal development. And I think this is so crucial. You need to give this process more meaning. The idea that you're just going to get to a goal weight and now you can wear the clothes you like, it's not going to be enough motivation for you. And I know you don't believe that, but I promise you it's true. And you need to only look as far as your results to prove that to yourself. If you were truly motivated, you'd have much different results right now. You're not motivated, and it's because how you're thinking about weight loss it's too superficial. It's just, there's not enough oomph there. So yeah, great job. Great job, Kelly. Cindy says, do you have a sleep program? I do have a sleep program. Oh, I know. I gotta sell it. Like it's called Sleep at Will. It's a really good program. If you shoot me an email, I'll send you a link to it. I do sell it. It's very inexpensive, but yeah, if you want that, I'll send it over to you. And it's a great program. I gotta say, I give it away to all the people in the program as a bonus. But yeah, it's a great program. I hit the like button. Thank you, Katie. What's up, Ken? Ken says, my eating strategies currently revolve around how it will affect my sleep. I sometimes throw in a bonus pleasure day after a great night of sleep. Yeah. I find I can have a pleasure day without going off track when I'm well rested. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The sleeping is so magical and crucial. I will tell you, I mean, literally, I've been really into my sleep for, I would say, going on about 10 years. And I am still, I'm fascinated by it. I'm literally, these last couple of weeks, I've just been in sleep mode, and I find it to be, it's just the gift that keeps on giving. It's a dazzling little ball of, what's the word I'm looking for? Surprises, good surprises. It's crazy. Again, you got to understand that when you're sleep deprived, and you're all probably sleep deprived. If you're an American, you're probably sleep deprived, just as a rule, for a bunch of reasons. We're conditioned in the society to devalue sleep. And for most of us, we've never even gotten a period of time in our lives where we actually got to be sleep. What would be the opposite of deprived? Actually, abundant, sleep abundance. Let's go with that. You've probably never had a time in your life when you've been sleep abundant. When you were a kid, you don't remember that. But as an adult, I bet there's not a chunk of time where you've really been sleep abundant. And so you don't even know what you're missing out on. You're just, your norm is sleep deprived. And when you actually get the sleep abundance in, it is, oh my goodness, it's just magical. Your whole brain, like your whole being depends on sleep. So your whole being changes. All I can say, and I've had drinking problems. So I speak from experience when I say this, that getting your sleep, becoming sleep abundant is almost like becoming sober. And it's like, if you ever have drank a lot consistently, you lose sight of what's normal very quickly. And I find sleep is very much like this. So again, what you're capable of and what your true potential is, it's off the charts. It's more than you think. And a lot of it comes down to the sleeping. So yeah, Ken, I'm not even surprised that you say that. So nice job too. Good job playing with that. John says, getting a little tired of my same old salads. Need to find more ingredients, protein choices to re-energize my appreciation of salads. I know this sounds vague. Well, no, but John, that's a lot more specific now though. You see what I mean? Like, again, you started it off really vague. You started it off with finding new healthy food choices as a problem. That's like so vague. There's nowhere for my brain to go to fix it. There's nowhere for your brain to go to fix it. Now you've gotten way more specific, still very problem oriented, but it's teetering on solutions. So we're a lot closer now. And we're a lot more specific. So again, getting a little tired of my same old salads. Again, that's the problem, but now it's way more specific than saying finding healthy choices, food options is hard. That's so vague. There's nowhere to go. Now we got it narrowed down to your salads, right? So now we know where the problem is. It's with the salad specifically. And now we can start to say, how can I make my salads more interesting, more exciting? What can I do? And what I would suggest, a good strategy for that is to rotate them up. So maybe Monday, chicken on it. Tuesday, chickpeas on it. Wednesday, tuna on it. Thursday, whatever. Now that might be too much. You might not even need that much variety. Monday, I put Caesar dressing on it. Tuesday, I put balsamic vinaigrette on it. There's lots of salads you can make. So again, when you start, now we're way more specific. From it's hard to find healthy food options. So vague. I don't know what that means. How can I have more interesting salads that I really enjoy and I look forward to? So you see what I mean? You see how this is a path you walk. And as you get more and more specific about the question, you really cause your brain to find more solutions and answers, So yeah. So keep going with that, John, though. You know what I mean? Like as you keep walking that path of finding, what am I looking for my salads? How many salads do I need? How can I make it more interesting and exciting to me? As you continue asking these questions, you're going to come up with more and more answers. Zoe says, what about kids' snacks should be restricted? I have a hard time with food for my kids. Yeah. Okay. A lot of people struggle with that. That's a real challenge. I understand exactly what you mean. Especially if you got kids, usually if you got kids, you're kind of tired, you're kind of just overwhelmed, you're already in this mode where you're kind of at the edges of your ability to control yourself. And now all of a sudden there's these kids snacks. And again, if they're hyper palatable junk food stuff, snacks, yeah, it's hard to deal around them, So what we want to do is come up with strategies, again, for this, start to notice patterns. Okay. So when are you snacking on the kids' snacks most? Is it breakfast, lunch, afternoon, dinner, after dinner? Let's notice the pattern. And the reason I say that is because most dieters are going to say, I got to stop snacking on my kids' snacks. Thanks, Rebecca. I got to stop snacking on my kids' snacks all the time. Right. And so now it's like, I can never snack on them again. Now it's overwhelming. So let's look at the pattern. When are you typically snacking on their snacks? And what we want to notice is, what snacks are you eating the most of? And which snacking are on your kids' food are you doing that would be the easiest to get rid of? Those are kind of the two main things I'm looking at. And I'm going to pick one of them to start working on. But notice I'm taking snacking on the kids' snacks as a big old giant thing as it starts out. And I want to break it down into components. When I'm doing it, what the most snacking I'm doing is, what would be the easiest one that I don't really care about to work on? You see, so I'm going to break it down. I'm going to make it easy for myself, and I'm going to get some, I'm going to make some forward momentum on it. Maybe I find like, the breakfast snack would be I don't even enjoy it. That one's a lot easier. The afternoon one, that's a little harder, So maybe I just pick the morning one first just to get some momentum. You see, but break it up into pieces so that you have more options. Again, what most dieters do is they're all or nothing thinkers. And so they try, I'm going to completely stop eating the kids' snacks. No, you're not. No, you're not. Not for long. So again, we want to be more strategic. And that's usually a good answer for most people. What's up, Connie? What's up, Paula? Where you been? I missed you this week. Paul said, I give up soda due to the price. I had to try and quit before with no luck. Yeah, again, the price of things at this point, Jesus Louises, fast food stuff, junk food stuff, this shit is expensive now. I don't really eat this stuff, but I bought my kids, they wanted some chips. I said, holy shit, $6 for a bag of chips. It used to be $2, $3. I say, hey, I'm not paying for this shit. It's a lot of money. And so, yeah, I bring that into the motivation. Because if you've been one of them people talking like, oh, well, yeah, eating healthy is so expensive. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It is not more expensive to eat healthy. No, it's not. I will see you, whatever you're eating. I can almost guarantee you I'm spending less. My salads for 4 days of salads a week, I spend like $5, $6, $7 a salad. And it's huge ass salads. My breakfast probably comes out to about $1.50 a day. So no way you're going to convince me that beans, whole grains, fruits, vegetables are more expensive than chips and packaged foods and shit. Even the meat and proteins are really expensive. So, no way. So yeah, the soda due to prices, it's just pissed away money. Sodas, I will tell you, and again, I'm not here to tell you just cold turkey, don't drink sodas, but any liquid calories you're consuming are really making your weight loss journey way harder because your body does not process liquid calories the way it does real food calories. There's no liquid calories in nature, folks, short of breast milk. So your body doesn't know how to process them. So you put all those calories in soda wise or, milkshake wise. Some of you people call them lattes. But you put that into your body and your body doesn't process the calories the same way. So what I mean by that is that you drink all those calories and you still feel hungry. That's what I mean specifically. But good job, Paula. Yeah, Don says sleeping ended up being the number one strategy for me. Now, Don was a little bit of an outlier. She had a real outlier situation, which, by the way, I will tell you, a lot of people come into the program and again, there's so many limiting beliefs. I swear so much of really mastering your weight is becoming aware of your limiting beliefs and transforming them. And so a lot of times people come in the program and say, well, I can't sleep. This is my situation. I can't sleep. And that almost never is true. The situation's real and there's challenging situations. I'm not debating that part, but usually our ability to do better with those challenging situations is almost always there. We can almost always improve whatever situation we're in, no matter how challenging. And I promise you, there's not many of you that have a more challenging situation than Don. We can almost always have a challenging situation and improve with that challenging situation still there. And a lot of times in our mind, we say, well, once that situation's over, then I can improve it. We can't wait. Don't wait. There's no point. Start feeling better now. So he says, should we feed kids here snacks that are bad for us adults? Oh, should we feed kids these snacks that are bad for us adults? I mean, obviously the answer is no, but I will tell you, and again, I take the no bullshit oath, so I'm transparent with you all. I let my kids eat bullshit snacks. I feel like with my kids, now I'm not here to teach a parenting nutrition course here. So I just want to make that clear. Everyone gets to make their own decision with what they do with their kids. I feel like I raise my kids nutritionally pretty healthy is what I feel like. And so I made a decision. I don't want them to never have access to snacks and all that. I kind of want them to be able to know what they are and moderate them and deal with them as opposed to like never deal with them. And at some point they start eating them. So I don't know. That was the decision I made. And so I don't feel great when I watch them eating some of the bullshit. Now it's not a lot. I want to make clear. I mean, they're not eating this stuff constantly, but it is there at times and I allow it. Is it the best decision? I don't know. I don't think it's good. I don't eat it. I tell them that. I've let them know that. But, again, I'm gonna let kids be kids. And I look at it like they're a lot healthier. They eat a lot cleaner than I did when I was that age, So anyways, so I can't answer that. But, I've kind of gone the route of I give them a little more balance than just make them as healthy as they can possibly be. And I felt like the balance was a better lesson than the purity of food. That's a decision I made. I'm not saying it's the right decision. So can't answer that one. Christina said, sleep like a teenager. Now I know. That's funny. Vicky says, sleep cycles help me optimize my sleep, and I'm a good sleeper and enjoy sleeping. Yeah, again, sleeping is just so crucial, so crucial. Connie says, when I'm bored with big salads for lunch, I make a soup with similar ingredients and a tomato base. Oh, that's a great strategy. Super duper strategy. I love that. That's brilliant. Especially like when winter comes, colder weather comes. I think the soup strategy is a wonderful one. I think a lot of times you'll find the soup's a lot more appealing in cold weather than the salad would be, So yeah, that's a great one. I'm glad you said that. All right, everyone. So I hope you all have a super duper weekend. If you're not in my world, click the link in my bio, go get the hypnosis session I give you, watch the video I made. If you like this here, I'm here every Monday through Friday, right around noon Eastern. Happy to help you out, give whatever insight I can give you to help you master your weight. And this is a podcast. It's Program Yourself Thin. So it's on all the podcast platforms. If you ever want to listen to it, these replays are put up there and you can go check them out. And they're usually put up there right away. And all right, everyone, have a super duper weekend and we'll talk soon. Bye.